Isn't it lovely? It's Sawyer's Christmas present. An heirloom passed down from his mother, he told me. Something cute about it having always belonged to me or whatever. But you know, I can almost swear I've seen you wearing a similar design yourself. No, that's impossible. I wouldn't. I couldn't afford such a thing. Probably not, huh? Hi guys, it's me. Today we're gonna be reading chapter, I think, 22 or 21. I'll only pretend. So let's get into it. Warning, this chapter will contain mentions of suicide. Nothing explicit will be depicted or described. You're not alone. Contact 988 to reach the crisis line and speak with a professional if you require support. So that goes for you guys too. So watch at your own discretion. And if you would like, I could do a recap. All you have to do is ask. Okay, so we're reading chapter 22. Whoops. Look at that funky looking doll. And then we will take the middle piece. Take the middle piece. Cross it over the right. I'm trying to sound like my grandma. Over what? Oh, we repeat the pattern until each strand's been all used up. I did it. Mammy, I made braids. A braid, Padme. And of course you did. You're my smart little cherry, aren't you? Smart little cherry. I've never heard of that before. No running, Padme. I do not want you roughing up that face any more than you already have. I'm a brave girl. I don't cry. Of course you are. But my baby's skin is not invincible. And she is far too beautiful of a lady to be scared. This belle, monsieur. I look like you, Mammy. I look nothing like my grandma. Oh, he's so sweet, my Padme. What a lucky young man he is indeed. You're going to grow up to be such a lovely wife. It's a weird thing to say about a kid. What's a wife? I know, I'm starting to sound like her. Alright, open your eyes. A present? You shouldn't have bothered. What kind of husband would that make me? Anything done in your name could never make me feel like a bother. A necklace? My mother's. Grandmother's, to be exact. Sort of a family heirloom. You're like a billionaire and you couldn't afford me to get me something new. You gave me some raggedy old thing. Why would I want that? Respectfully, why would I want that? It's inherited down through the men in our families, gifted to our wives who ultimately pass it off to their sons. If you ask me, that sounds a lot more like settled compulsion to bear a son disguised as some sweet tradition. She got him there. She got him there. Really, it belonged to Vance, and in all honesty, I should have gotten him. But Sylvia just wouldn't approve. Sylvia? My grandmommy. Vance didn't want to marry the woman she pledged him to, so Sylvia axed him out of the family. Fired him from the company. Bought back all of his existing shares. And as a sole daughter, the necklace just inevitably ended up with my mother. We were engaged, essentially. But as you can see, the plan never came into fruition. If only those women had just stuck it out another 20 years or so, they would have gotten exactly what they wanted. What did they want? To merge our family's companies. Gay marriage. I guess that explains why I've never seen Vance work at the company. Which only unsettles me more because what the heck would my mom even have to do with the Owens family before me? Do you know to who it was your uncle was supposed to engage to? Your guess is as good as mine. Here, let me put it on you. Beautiful. You're gonna give my mother a run for her money. I don't know if I can accept this, Sawyer. You don't like it. You think a fool of me, don't you? Bet I can't smell your mistress's lingering lust rusting up the gold. There's too much sentimental attached here, and I don't want to give you up. I don't want you to give up something so valuable just to Padme. I can't imagine that necklace belonging to anyone else. Dude, I'm like in physical pain talking, and I don't know if my voice sounds different on mic, but I was at a yam with my sister. I'll put like a clip right here. I was so happy and proud of her that I would scream anytime she did anything. Even when she was just like standing in the back waiting for the ball, I would just go Layla, you know? And my voice is really hoarse because I was quite loud. And it hurts to speak. So, not to any woman on earth, and if not for you, I might have only taken it to the grave. It's yours. Are you sure you won't regret this? Couldn't have predicted that a necklace might provoke all this pessimism out of you. What's the matter, really? The matter is that I scream too much. It just feels so permanent. Be cold and detached, let him down gently. Let's be cold. Let's be toxic. I'm sorry. It's just not quite my style. Really, now. I could have sworn otherwise. I've often seen you sporting gold. Then maybe you don't know me quite as well as you thought. Mom, I'm actually a silver girl. I'm sorry that it wasn't up to your standards. I'm sure your sister would have a little more use for it than I. Padme, it's fine. If you don't want to wear it, you never have. You never do at all. But regardless, it's yours to keep. I'll only waste it away in my closet, Sawyer. This is so mean. Someone out there would probably kill for this. And I don't care about any of that, Padme, only you. Too little too late, Sawyer. If you really detest it that much, you could store it away. I'll find a way to make it up to you. But tonight, for my own peace of mind, please could you at least just pretend to accept it? Oh crap. I was running low on time and it completely slipped my mind to pick up your present. Don't worry about it. How on earth could you forget? Relax, I know I'm running a bit late, but I'll always be on my way to see the clinic in a sec. Not your meeting, Sandy. He turns 10 today. So, the day comes and goes every year. It's hardly a feat to miss. You are unbelievable. Couldn't you at least have picked something out for him yourself? I cannot keep writing greeting cards addressed from you anymore. He's a smart kid. Sooner or later he's gonna try to figure it out. I beg to differ. Guess we're never leaving my thing. But how come you're only giving it to me now if it's supposed to be a present from our wedding? I kept custody of it after the accident. I was waiting for the right moment to return it to you. Please. He must have sensed it, that I've been acting unlike myself, and now he's trying to butter me up with counterfeit sentimentality. The only thing reassuring me right now is the fact that having this necklace around my neck meant it had been ripped from Claire's. She's so toxic, and I'm really eating it up right now. I really like it. I'm sorry, I really thought I'd gotten better at this whole gift-giving thing. Huh? Right, you wouldn't remember. Last year I bought you a new phone. Newly minted model. You've been complaining about battery issues on your old one, but that's all long gone now. What do you mean? It was destroyed in the accident. I believe this belongs to you. No, I'm quite sure I already have my phone with me. Trust me, it's yours. I found it in Sawyer's room. Hold on, it's Mama. Mama, please, I told you, Sawyer and I need this night to ourselves. Please don't try to guilt us into coming over. I know, sweetheart, I didn't mean to intrude, truly, but I would rather you hear this from me than stumble upon it on the news. Hear what? Who died? Freshly 15 and freshman year of high school. A bleak Tuesday afternoon, and I remember only because I had slipped a letter to the school noting my absence. A trivial fact to remember, but it was one of the few things at the time that seemed to make sense, that my brain could actually grasp. I found it mean how life could just disappear at any instant. I've heard people say the soul is immortal, that it can live on beyond the flesh. But how is it that my grandmother's complexion could be preserved and not her laughter? How could Lou's curls remain frozen in their form, her lashes delicately curled? They killed Louisa. Someone put a sad edit of Louisa right now. Rest in peace, Louisa. We barely knew you, and all you did was kind of kiss Sophie's ass, and now you're dead. It's a shame. God, how could all of this exist without the sway of her body and the flirty blinks of her eyes to breathe life into them? My body felt paralyzed in its stillness, as if trying to mimic Louisa. Mimic her silence, her emptiness. I'll be a moment. I should have a word with her mother. How cruel of the universe to erase years' worth of laughter and leave me only with the echo of our final argument. Our final conversation. Padme, why? Thousands of words remained unspoken between us, sitting idle, waiting for lips to pass through. Where were they meant to go now? Will everything I love always slip away from me prematurely? I almost hate you enough to let you live with it. Live with what? Thinking that she killed herself. I beg your pardon? You really believe all of the happiest people struggle the hardest, bullcrap? You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be here if your only goal is to be rude. I'm not trying to invalidate it. I don't doubt people actually feel that way. Just not Lou. I know you lost your memories, but I'm sure you kept some sort of common sense. You knew Louisa too. I don't understand what you mean. Padme, should we head out soon? It's been a long day for everyone and for you. And it may be best to let her family have their final words with her alone. Yeah, of course, I'll follow behind you. And the neighbor didn't even know their detector was ringing until they came back from vacation days later. So she's just been laying there, rotting away alone. Shh, don't let her sister hear you. Poor woman's looking like she might give out at any second. Can you blame her? Her only daughter never showing any signs. Dying just like that. Just left her truck running in the garage one night and decided to call it quits. Told you my sister wasn't the sweet angel mother she was always bragging herself to be. My god, you could be so uncouth with your words. How are you feeling? Like I'm going to hell. What? My best friend killed herself. Our last conversation happened to be me exploding on her. She must have already felt lonely, and I let her believe she had lost me from her side. I only ever made everything about me. Like I was saying, we the audience know that she obviously didn't die of her own hand, but even if she did, that's not Padme's fault. You know, Louisa, I'm sure she wasn't trying to, but she was ultimately always picking sides with them. She would constantly excuse Sophie's pettiness and behavior. Sophie literally poisoned us, and she didn't tell us until we snapped at her. I'm not saying that Padme handled it in the best way, but I'm saying I understand how she came from, and there was no way of knowing that Louisa was going through that. And so it's not Padme's fault, and she shouldn't feel like it's her fault. This wasn't your fault, Padme. You're not a god. You don't know that. No one does. We're talking as if you expect someone to hold you accountable for this. You shouldn't have been in that car in the first place. Sawyer, you're talking as if you expect someone to hold you accountable for this. What happened was incredibly unfortunate, but that's all it was. An accident. You're not to blame for any of it. That's what you told me when I was beating myself up over my mother's accident. Don't tell me that it all meant nothing, that you were just saying pretty words for the sake of it. Let me take these off for you. Are you out of your gosh darn mind? No, absolutely not. Who do you think you're speaking to right now, boy? Have some respect. Louisa Fisher just died just over a week ago, and you already want my wife on top of planning? I hate it as much as you do, Sawyer. I really do. Bullcrap. This is work. That's all it is. We can't just hit pause on everything all because some fragile girl decided to. You are unbelievable. I don't care if you throw a fit. We're not hosting the memorial. It's a benefit for your mother. We host this every year. Think about your mother. I'm thinking about my wife, who's still very much alive. How come you only seem to care about Mom now that she's gone? Hadia, what's going on? Where is everyone going? Good evening, ma'am. Because of renovations on the East Wing, a few employees are being relocated to spare offices on the side. I see. But this is weird. This is Claire's office. I'm not sure why she should be packing up. There's no way. Surely Sawyer didn't. Oh, my apologies. I should have knocked. Sawyer will be joining us momentarily. I believe dinner should be ready soon. You care to walk with me? Something the air here feels off. Were you two in the middle of something? No, it's alright. I'll discuss this with you at a later time. There's nothing to discuss. I've already made up my mind. Is everything alright with you two? What do you need, Padme? Is Claire leaving the company? Yes, I dismissed her. You can't fire Claire. What? You can't fire her. Look, if you fire her, we'll need to go through the whole recruitment process for a new assistant. And given everything that has happened, I can't really bring myself to trust a new tenant brought into the company right now. Claire. I bit my tongue so hard I nearly swallowed it. I feel safer having Claire around, knowing she's been with you in the company for so long. You want me to keep Claire here. Is there an issue with that? I'm sorry if I'm overstepping my boundaries. I didn't even have the decency to ask why you were dismissing her in the first place. As if I would ever give a fuck. Padme, I can't keep Claire around because we have history. What? History? Claire and I, fuck. A long time ago we were in a relationship. Padme, can you please say something? I don't care. What? I don't care. You said it yourself that it was a long time ago, right? Yes, but I'm not worried about some stupid office flame. And I can't exactly blame her for getting the hots for you. I mean, you're handsome and young. Who wouldn't? You know what? I can talk to her. I've been meaning to take her out for a coffee chat. You have? Padme, I don't know if that's a great idea. Why not? I can't imagine what might suddenly cause a shift in you like this. Even after everything, you've elected to keep her around all these years. She probably kept you company during the 6 months I was unconscious, and I have some appreciation for that. So she still means something to you, clearly. She doesn't. As a friend, relax, Sawyer. You don't need to bend over backwards to try and explain the situation. I get it. I don't get it. Of course you wouldn't get it, silly. You're not a woman. You'll just have to trust we know our affairs best, Sawyer. Like how I've always trusted you and yours. So please, allow me to get to know her. You know I already feel so lonely in the office. I could really use a friend right now. I just think it would be best for us to move on. From what? Surely if you've allowed her to stick around all this time, the relationship couldn't have meant much. The test you found was mine. You're right. It was nothing. I don't think we've ever had a proper conversation before. And I apologize if I've at all been unwelcoming on my part. No, you're fine. I'm just Mr. Owen's assistant, nothing more. You and Sawyer, nothing more than coworkers? There's no need to be so coy. Haven't we already established that I know all about your dirty laundry? Then I guess you shouldn't feel obliged to rekindle some kind of friendship with me. I do appreciate the favor, what with you fighting to help keep my job here, but I really don't need it. Didn't Sawyer tell you my reasoning? I know your intentions mean well, but knowing is enough. And what if I don't want to work for Mr. Owens anymore? If that were the case, you would have quit a long time ago, no? Based on what you told me, I highly doubt that Sawyer would have embarrassed himself by begging you to stay. Honestly, I really can't understand why exactly you want me around. Normal women wouldn't. Well, I'm not the kind of woman who clings onto minor details of the past like that, Claire. Minor? Men do it all the time, accidentally getting attached to any woman in their proximity. They get lonely and desperate, spending all their evenings holed away in the office, so they coin a work wife to fill that void with whatever is close and convenient. And that really doesn't bother you, Padme. Why would it? How could I feel threatened when the whole world knows I'm his wife? And forgive me for being old-fashioned, but I do prefer it when employees refer to me with formality. I like being called Miss Owens. Your necklace! Isn't it lovely? It's Sawyer's Christmas present. An heirloom passed down from his mother, he told me. Something cute about it having always belonged to me or whatever. But you know, I can almost swear I've seen you wearing a similar design yourself. No, that's impossible. I wouldn't. I couldn't afford such a thing. Probably not, huh? You know, I struggled a bit with finding a suitable present for Fort Sawyer. Why is it so absurdly hard to buy gifts for men? You dated him. Are you aware of anything in particular that he might be inclined to? Watches, colognes, or sports events he might like to attend? Mr. Owens isn't a materialistic man. He'd probably prefer an intimate night in, if I were to guess. Intimate. Candles on the dinner table, a low scoop sundress, hair pinned up all messy, the whole shebang. That's a vivid description. Almost vulgar. Just suggesting based on past experience, like you ask. Men lose their minds over the effortless look, don't they? Probably because it's easier to imagine ruining you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, but I'm gonna call it a day. You okay? Just coming up from a bad fever. Yeah, I'm on my way. Who was that? Julie. She's feeling under the weather, so I'm afraid I've gotta go and check up on her. Take care of Julie, my butt. What a shameless liar. I should probably go. Of course, please rest up and feel better. Oh, but before you leave, Claire, could I ask a huge favor of you? Favor? Could you please check Sawyer's calendar and let me know what evenings he might finish work early? The Five Seasons Hotel just recently finished renovating their penthouse suites, and I thought it might be nice for us to spend a night. Spend a night? In New York? What, your penthouse isn't enough for you? Oh, you know, I'm trying to make it up for him for forgetting a Christmas gift this year. I want to make the night more special. I'll see what I can do. That was petty, but worth it. Hey, it's Eliza. Haniel gave me your number. Said you wanted to chat? Hi. I'm actually out right now if you've got time. Dinner's on me. Sure. Can I bring a +1? Your office is a bit cozy, but it should only be temporary. We're renovating a couple of the floors, so most of the team will relocate to those newer spaces. Not picky man, Sandy. Perfect, then oh, Amelie! Well, this couldn't be more perfect timing. I'd like to introduce you to Ellie Leon. We've met. You have? At the charity gala. Yes, we have. And judging by your cordiality, I'm assuming he was your guest this evening, Sandy. Indeed he was. In fact, I'm currently giving him a tour of the... Could I speak with you in private, Sandy? No. If you'll excuse me for a moment. Please take your time. I'm sure I can manage my way around here. What did you mean by managing his way around here? Have I not had the chance to tell you? Tell me what? I've hired him in lieu of Sophie Cortez. He's her replacement. I beg your pardon? You have hired a random man into a major position at your company. He's not a random mailing. He's a member of the international steel supplier we will be partnering with. Steel supplier? Don't you recall our meeting with your executives earlier this month? Love to, Padme, but Sandy and I have a meeting with a possible new steel supplier in a few hours. You told me it had been rescheduled. Did I? Oh, indeed, technical issues with the web call, if I remember correctly. It was sorted out later that evening, and we were able to hold a formal negotiation. Did you not receive the remote invite? No, I don't believe I did. Sadly, you cannot just pursue a new supply partner without my input. Please don't fault me for an inability to keep up with your own calendar, Amelie. And as much as your opinion is valued here, the board is thrilled to work with the Liang Corporation. We would be fools not to take on this opportunity. The Liangs reached out to us of their own will. It is an incredibly lucrative opportunity, and it would aid us in a European expansion. There are other suppliers we can work with, Sandy. And what reason do you have to be so against this partnership specifically? It's all far too sudden. It's just the nature of how this business works. We can't ever pause and allow our competitors the time to catch up. Surely this is a conflict of interest. You're recruiting the heir of a possible supplier into a manager role at our company. Spoken with legal, and there are no glaringly unethical implications in our arrangement. We need an expert to take over a vacant marketing position, and the Liangs were kind enough to offer one of their own. L will take charge in promoting our brand. There won't be any instance where he might promote his own company through our procurement processes. We have full transparency and distinctively segregated duties. It's clear to me that a verdict has been reached without my vote. For future reference, I would appreciate it if I were involved in such key decisions. Certainly. Forgive me if I have overstepped my post. So you've done your research on the Liangs. I beg your pardon? You know, Il was an heir. Call it a lucky guess given his last name. Still, it's a strong conclusion to come to based on such circumstantial evidence. How could I do research on a corporation I wasn't made aware we would be dealing with in the first place? Je crois te rester. I'm assuming that's our papa? I'm assuming. No, Eliza, please stay. I know this is gonna be a pretty odd conversation, and I really only came to introduce you to. You wouldn't be intruding at all. You're my friend too, aren't you? I guess I am. I've been a professional in my career for years now, and I still haven't quite figured out how best to relay this to you. Though I suppose you've only had enough of people beating around the bush, so I may as well just rip off the band-aid. You and your husband had been having issues for quite some time. He had been seeing another woman behind you. Well, that's not quite the right wording. He had been seeing another woman alongside you in your marriage. You were all aware of her existence, and from what you told me, she was well aware of yours. I knew. The entire time I knew Sawyer was cheating, and I stayed. It was a business marriage, Padme. A marriage of convenience. Business marriage? If that's the case, then that means your families knew. You're crapping me. Shh. But that's so messed up. Remember, you've got two families now, Padme. Oh Lord. We can continue this discussion another day, Padme. We don't have to go over everything tonight. No, I want to. Could you? Okay, what on earth? Is that Chase? Crap. Just my luck. My husband's best friend was about to see me teary-eyed in mid-conversation with my attorney. I didn't need Chase snitching back to him, and I definitely didn't need Sawyer asking me questions. And as far as my husband knew, I didn't have any friends left. Vanessa, I know it's late, but by any chance is your office still open? Jesus Christ. Who the heck died? You're looking like you just came straight out of a funeral. Maybe because somebody just did, butthole. Oh, my condolences. Pass your pity along to Padme. I'm sure as hell don't need it. Is she alright? Our friend supposedly just killed herself. What do you think? And I'm doing spectacular. Thanks for asking. Killed herself? That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about today. Yeah, I'm really sorry for your loss, but I'm not qualified to play therapist. No, I just don't think she really killed herself. Louise has always been such a happy-go-lucky girl, and she never showed any signs. People handle depression differently. Who are you to say she wasn't? Sure, but look, I get it. It's hard. Your friend, probably only one at that, just died, and in a pretty emotionally brutal way. Alright, screw you too, buddy. You're trying to come to terms with what happened, but you said it yourself, you're not a licensed therapist. I do not need you psychoanalyzing me. I knew Louisa, okay? She was happy. She wouldn't just wake up one day and decide to do this. You don't know that. Oh, and you do. Sometimes people just get fed up. No, it's weird. Everything lines up in some weird coincidence, and I just know it had to do with Louisa's death. I'm almost sure she was murdered. Murdered? This is everything I have on your file. Notes from an initial meeting and copies of contracts you provided, including the prenuptial agreement. I'm sorry, but I still can't wrap my head around why Sawyer and I would get arranged. The purpose of your union was to solidify the merger between the Laurent Group and Owens Co., consolidating the two into one single entry. I don't understand how I'm expected to just take this. You practically saying that she sold me, that my mother sold me for the business. A harsh way to put it, but yes. But that doesn't make any sense. I don't remember any conversation about our company's going concern. Going concern? It's the ability for a company to continue business operation as normal. But this is exactly what we were discussing right before your accident. From what you told me prior to your family's company had been performing perfectly fine. Contrary to what you were told, the Laurent Group did not need this merger to survive. For whatever reason, you suggested that you had reason to believe you might have been manipulated into this marriage. Her family told me that the police recorded her death as chemical asphyxiation. She had apparently left her truck engine running in a closed garage and the carbon monoxide flooded her home. You said apparently. About a week before I spoke with Louisa on the phone, she told me she couldn't drive out to me because her new tires had been delivered. I'm sorry, Soph, but I can't come over. I've got errands to do, plus my new tires still haven't arrived, so I can't even drive my truck until next week. And when the police found her body, she was all dressed up in a fancy gown. I could bet my left kidney she was on her way to that stupid gala. And if she was, she sure as heck wasn't going to take her janky truck. So what are you saying? I think Louisa found something she wasn't supposed to. I was still doubting its credibility, but given that Louisa might have just died for it, the letter must have been real. What I'm about to tell you can't make it back to Padme, you hear me? This would kill her. Just spit it out, Cortez. When she slipped into her coma, I was appointed her position temporarily. I worked in her office mainly for convenience, but honestly, it was supposed to be I resumed her work, took over her in-progress projects, replied to emails, and signed on her behalf. And then one day this letter came. A letter from France. Since it was sent to the office, I assumed it pertained to business, so I opened it. And yeah, call me nosy or whatever, but I read it. And if it's fake, what a sick joke to make, but if it's real, then her father is really out there, looking for her. Thank you for reading. 119 out of 72 butterfly points, 53 out of 29 Sawyer points, 46 out of 20 Haniel points. With the curtains fastened shut, you might never figure the light dribbling in the sky. And to be the sky's noon and not the moon. Padme. I'm really not hungry. I don't have the energy to. Not necessary. I'll do it. I never minded it, taking care of Padme like this. I never minded it when the hospital made itself her home, as much as I cursed that place. But do you think you have enough energy to sit up and take a sip for me? I'm up. Seems like my whole life all I've done is watch a woman I care about slip in and out of a shell of herself. Morbid. I couldn't pretend otherwise, but it never felt like punishment. Especially not with her. You don't need to take care of me. Arm out. I fish a soap towel off of the tray I'd brought and gently extend her arm to wash it. Does the temperature feel good, or has the rag already gone cold? It's fine. I can continue the rest, or you can go. I know you won't. For the first time in days, I saw her form an expression beyond a hollow stare. A pout. A stubborn one. The endearing little pout her lips would purse into when she couldn't get her way. You need to wash your face too. You've got tears all dried up. And a couple of drool stains too. A child's pout. And my chest lightened at the reassurance that there was still some fight in her. Some life. Look, I understand how uncomfortable this is. I always felt guilty when I'd run a fever and my mom would come in and wash me. It made me feel like I was less of a man, you know, and how stupid I might have only been 12. I was a smug kid, which was funny, considering how I don't think her name was ever absent from a single sentence I'd uttered. I was nothing without holding her hand, and it's weird how that feeling still manages to linger even after all these years passed. I'd do anything to feel her again. To feel her affection water my pride down again. To soften. I looked down to find her eyes shut. my neck flushed in embarrassment at the realization that I'd spent the last several moments mumbling to myself. Words always seemed to pour out against my will whenever I was in her presence. A year ago today, we never so much as spoke a regular good morning to one another. Our days moved in parallel, hardly even conveying for something as trivial as breakfast. And now, it was like the sun had tucked itself away under those eyelids and I couldn't find reason to move until they opened. Last time hinged on her days and weeks marked by how everything just seemed to orbit around this one woman's breath alone. Make me too easy. Some nights I wonder if she might have sent you. So that's the end of that chapter. Oh, I guess not. It's not the end, okay. For God's sake, this couldn't have been worse timing. We haven't seen numbers like this since well before Valerie's passing. If you don't figure out a way to bypass your son, the last 10 years will have been for naught. 25 million with nowhere to go. Get a grip of yourself, Olivia. We'll find a solution. I always have. Background, oh well, credits. So, we have 4 chapters left right now. My thoughts are I'm a little disappointed because I thought season 2 would have more of a Haniel focus than a Sawyer focus. But the bonus romance chapters are still about him. So I'd be lying if that didn't disappoint me to an extent. I still enjoyed this chapter a lot. I did not expect Louisa to pass away. I didn't expect to get so upset when Padme was crying. I was so sad. What else? Still giving us Haniel scraps, which is so disappointing. I like Liza and her sister. They're really nice, and I hope they take a bigger focus. The little focus that was on Louisa, they start taking up that instead, you know? Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time. Thank you guys for all your support and love. I appreciate it. So, thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.